Hello, I'm Counselor Fox. I am a family and trauma counselor, and that is my dog you hear barking in the background. And I am the founder of Fox Adoption and Counseling, LLC, and the developer of Remm, Replacement Experience Memory Method. Together with former U.S. Army Specialist McLean, we put together and co-developed the military and first responder version of Remm so that we could invite those with invisible injuries to find a place of healing stress, anxiety, and PTSD. So on this video, we're going to talk about alternative methods. Within Remm, within the Remm manual, you will find a long list of, clinically recognized and proven therapies and treatments, as well as a list of alternative methods to approaching or dealing with the same things as far as the process of trying to fix, make better, or heal the issues that are going on with you specifically regarding chronic stress, anxiety, and PTSD. Two of the many alternative methods that I list lead to healing, and so I'm just going to go over two of those on this video, and then we can move on from there. One is lean on others. Now, it sounds simple. There's songs that say lean on me. There's gospel hymns that say lean on Christ, right? But to do it is a whole other thing. To actually physically, mentally, emotionally give yourself to succumbing to coming underneath somebody, for the purpose of coming up to them and leaning on them. Okay? So when somebody is not willing to do that or is tentative to do that, they can be missing out on something that could be very easily healing to them. So often those affected by PTSD feel or become disconnected from others. They feel disconnected from work, from family, obviously from their past unit, squad, etc. They're feeling burdened and ashamed, which is completely normal. And these are the type of things that definitely need to be addressed. It's important to find, simply, as corny as it may sound, a shoulder to lean on. It can be a family member or a counselor, or it can be an SSG cohort, is why I designed a stress support group, is to have a place if in fact you needed to be away from or deal with things aside from the family, the work, the circle of influence, if you will. Okay? So it was designed to come up with a new group, a new squad, a new unit, a new group of individuals that share some commonality. One of them is the ability and the function of leaning on one another and each other. So this doesn't mean lean, it can also mean cry, it can mean hear, it can mean listen, it can mean all kinds of things when actually leaning on others. The other one is join a support group. Now obviously I chose that one because of the specialized way in which I have addressed the gaps that I feel are in the VA and the mental health arena as it applies to those that have served in the military and those that have served as a first responder. Being in a support position where you know that you can count on other people when things get tough is one of the things that is sorely lacking in the approach that many take. So it may possibly be the most important thing that you can do is to surround yourself with others and those that can support you and understand what you go through. Now, I will never be one of those that says I know what happened to you. I know what you went through, because I don't know what you went through. I wasn't there. I didn't even serve in the military, but my father did and my grandfather did, and my wife's father and her grandfather did. So my wife and I both come from military families and whose mothers had to deal with military members. and who understand that type of service and sacrifice, and that was handed down to me. So I know that I can say I understand pain. I can say from my own experiences, I understand trauma. I understand abandonment. I understand traumatic stress. I understand blows to the head. I understand violent and bloody circumstances because of some of the things that I've experienced in my life. But I've never been to war. I have been on the losing end of, let's just say, many fights because I was bullied for many years while living alone with my mother after a divorce by being called a mama's kid or hanging on at that time because I'm a little bit older than a lot of you and younger than some of you. I was hanging on to my mama's apron strings, okay? So I was beat up at the bus stop, on the bus, when I got off, between classes, and of course going home on the bus and at the bus stop and going home. So some days I get beat up 3 or 4 times. Now, sometimes it was definitely bad enough to leave blood and bruises, and other times not. I will say shortly that when I became 15, I suddenly changed. Testosterone came in. I found myself 6'2", 220 pounds, quite fit and ready for anybody that wanted to mess with me. And I got to a point where I actually championed the cause of others who were being bullied. We won't go into that, but I had my own little circle of friends that would go after those that were bullies. So yeah, we'll take that into consideration. So, you know, having a support membrane that supports you where you are, or a Tuesday night group, as it were, that kind of support system is definitely crucial and is altogether an integral part of what an SSG is all about. One of the things that I not only encourage but is a guideline to follow for a stress support group is that at every meeting, whether it's online or locally in person, is that there be some type of food and snack or food and drink there. Education and fellowship and camaraderie always go down better with some food and some drink, and we're not talking alcoholic either, and we're not talking pot brownies either. We're talking just some food and drink. But I just wanted to mention that because one of my favorite smells that completely takes me out of either a bad mood or a bad situation is the smell of fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. Who doesn't like the smell of freshly baking chocolate chip cookies? They almost instantaneously change your mood. Another one for me would be a glass of ice water with a couple of slices of lemons in it. That smell and that taste just kind of changes how my entire outlook is for that moment, and sometimes helps me switch gears to get in a completely different mood. So those types of things are things that you can learn within Remm, the kind of things that help you find alternative methods to healing and finding what works for you. And to find out more, please go to my website at remmworks.webs.com. You can find me on Twitter at RemmWorks or my Facebook page /RemmWorks. Or you can send an email to me at remmworks42@gmail.com. And I wish you all the best. God bless you. And I want you to remember one last thing. Ready? Remm works. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.